Most of us have been there, caught in the trap of old patterns, guilt, and frustration that seem to pull us back just when we're starting to make progress. They're a mirror reflecting what's happening inside you, and, more importantly, they're within your power to change. Many people spend their entire lives asleep, unaware of the power they hold to change their reality. But you're here because you feel that pull, that knowing that there's more to this existence than meets the eye. And you want to stop repeating the undesirable cycles in your life and step boldly into a future of your own design. But breaking out of these cycles isn't about trying harder and maybe be a little difficult. In this video, we'll dive into practical wisdom and insights that will help you reclaim your power and stop repeating those old, worn-out stories. Undesirable cycles. Falling back into old patterns is like hitting replay on a song you swore you'd never listen to again. It's frustrating, isn't it? You're cruising along, feeling good, and then bam. You find yourself stuck in the same old groove of negative cycles, drowning in guilt, disappointment, and frustration. It's easy to beat yourself up when you feel like you're right back where you started, caught in the same frequencies that you thought you'd outgrown. But you've got to realize, every time you slip back, it's not a failure, it's an opportunity to recalibrate and break the pattern. The tricky part is that these cycles are comfortable, even if they're destructive. It's like wearing an old pair of shoes that are bad for your feet. They don't fit anymore, but they're familiar. This is where awareness comes in. When you're aware, you can interrupt the cycle. It's not just about what you do, but also what you don't do. We often cling to negative habits, fueled by emotions like frustration, which only serve to solidify those outdated vibrations. Ever noticed how you can get stuck in an endless loop of self-criticism? That's your old frequency whispering lies, keeping you tethered to a reality that's not yours anymore. Don't let it have that power. Guilt and self-blame are just sneaky little traps. They don't serve your transformation, they're the emotional glue that binds you to the past. You've got to let that go if you want to break free. Imagine your mind like a radio station. You can tune into a different frequency anytime, but first, you've got to recognize when you're stuck on a static channel. Each time you shift your focus, you're sending a message to the universe: I'm ready for something new. That's how you start dissolving those old patterns. Importance of focus and perseverance. Focus is like your compass. It keeps you on track, even when life tries to pull you in 1,000 different directions. It's not just about staying busy, but about channeling your energy towards what truly matters. When you let go of what's irrelevant, you make room for the transformative knowledge that will guide you closer to your desired reality. Perseverance is what turns dreams into reality, even when the road feels impossibly long. Think about it, how many times have you started something with enthusiasm only to lose steam when obstacles appeared? It's normal. The key is to keep going, especially when it feels tough. Just like you wouldn't expect to master a skill overnight, creating a new reality takes time and unwavering focus. Those little daily conscious actions, the moments of discipline when no one's watching, that's where the magic happens. Keep at it, because every step, no matter how small, compounds over time into something extraordinary. When you consciously set your focus every day, it's like programming your subconscious to align with your higher vision. You start to notice how your thoughts and actions slowly shift, creating a new momentum that pulls you towards your goals almost effortlessly. The real secret is that perseverance isn't just about pushing forward, it's about refining your focus as you go. Life will test you, trying to pull you back into comfort zones and distractions. But with each test, you get a chance to prove your commitment to your path. It's a constant dance of falling and getting back up, learning, and readjusting your aim. And remember, every time you choose focus and perseverance over distraction, you're not just moving forward, you're growing, evolving, and inching closer to awakening the best version of yourself. Giving yourself grace. Giving yourself grace is like offering a hand to your inner self every time you stumble. It's easy to be hard on yourself, especially when you slip back into old habits or feel stuck in familiar, low-frequency emotions. But no one's journey is a straight line, and you're not meant to have it all figured out instantly. If you've been living in a certain frequency for decades, it's only natural that it will take some time to shift those deeply ingrained patterns. Imagine trying to turn a massive ship around. it doesn't happen in a blink. It takes persistence, patience, and a little self-compassion along the way. Think of grace as a gentle reset button. When you find yourself back in those old cycles, instead of beating yourself up, remind yourself of the progress you've already made. Remember, the mere fact that you're aware of these patterns is a sign of growth. Most people don't even realize they're caught in repetitive loops, but you do, and that's powerful. Allow yourself to be a work in progress. When you slip, acknowledge it, but don't dwell. Use it as a learning point, a moment to recalibrate your energy and refocus on your path forward. It's important to understand that transformation is an internal process first, and it needs time to consolidate before it shows up in the physical world. You might feel the shift happening within you, new thoughts, new emotions, a sense of clarity, but the outer results don't always come right away. That's okay. They will catch up. Think of it like planting seeds. You don't see the sprouts immediately, but you keep watering them anyway. Each positive action, every small shift in mindset, is nurturing the roots of your new reality. Be patient with the process. Your inner work is not in vain. The nature of frequencies. Frequencies are like waves. They ebb and flow, rise and fall, and so do we. It's important to understand that no frequency stays constant, and neither do our emotions or circumstances. One moment, you're riding the high of clarity and inspiration, and the next, you might find yourself in a dip, feeling disconnected or doubtful. But here's the secret: those dips are just as natural as the peaks. They're not signs that you're on the wrong path, but rather part of the oscillating rhythm of life. Accepting this helps you flow with your journey instead of resisting it. Think of it like a heartbeat. It pulses, it oscillates, and it's always in motion. That's how your energy works, too. You're not meant to stay in one state forever, even if it's a positive one. The law of rhythm, one of the Hermetic principles, teaches us that everything moves in cycles, and everything has its tides. So, when you're in a low phase, it's not a punishment or a step back, it's an invitation to rest, reflect, and prepare for the next rise. Recognizing this helps you embrace every part of your experience with a sense of peace. When you start to see your highs and lows as part of a natural rhythm, it becomes easier to navigate them. You begin to understand that your moments of doubt or frustration are temporary. They're not failures, they're just pauses in the dance of your energy. It's like the pendulum swing, it goes both ways, but it's always moving forward overall. The key is not to get stuck in judgment when you're at a low point. Instead, ask yourself, what is this moment teaching me, and use it as a stepping stone for inner growth. Understanding the nature of frequencies means accepting that you won't always feel high vibe, and that's okay. The lows don't define you, they refine you. Each oscillation, each wave, brings you closer to mastering the art of navigating life's ups and downs with grace. You're learning to stay centered regardless of external circumstances, cultivating an inner peace that doesn't waver. Emotional energy and transformation. Emotions are more than fleeting feelings, they are powerful currents of energy in motion that shape your reality, often more than you realize. Think of emotions as the fuel that powers your inner engine. They can either propel you forward or keep you stuck in place, depending on their frequency. Negative emotions like guilt, disappointment, and frustration can be particularly sticky, acting like emotional glue that binds you to old cycles and frequencies. It's easy to get caught in this emotional quicksand, where each negative thought seems to pull you deeper into familiar, unwanted patterns. But once you start to recognize these emotions for what they truly are, energetic signals, you can begin the process of transformation. Emotional transformation isn't about denying or suppressing what you feel. Quite the opposite, it's about acknowledging your emotions and allowing them to flow without letting them control your actions. Picture a river. When the water flows freely, it's vibrant and full of life. But when it's blocked, it becomes stagnant and murky. Your emotions work the same way. By allowing yourself to feel and process emotions, you keep your energy moving, making room for higher frequencies to enter. So next time you feel frustration creeping in, try expressing it, write it down, talk it out, or channel it into something creative. The goal isn't to eliminate these feelings, but to keep them flowing. One of the most transformative shifts you can make is viewing negative emotions not as enemies but as messengers. They often point to areas in your life that need attention, healing, or change. For instance, frustration might be telling you that you're out of alignment with your true desires, while guilt could be highlighting unresolved issues that need your forgiveness. Instead of pushing these feelings away, ask yourself what they're here to teach you. This mindset shift allows you to turn emotional lows into opportunities for self-discovery and growth. You have the power to transmute lower frequencies into higher ones, much like alchemists turning lead into gold. This process starts with awareness, catching yourself in those moments of low vibrational energy and consciously choosing to shift. Every time you choose to rise above a negative emotion, you're reinforcing your ability to create your own reality. The law of rhythm. The law of rhythm is one of the Hermetic principles that tells us everything in life moves to a natural beat, a dance between highs and lows. Just like the ocean tides, the seasons, or even the phases of the moon, everything in the universe follows a rhythm. This principle also applies to our lives. We all experience ups and downs, and no one is immune to this flow. When you understand that these fluctuations are not personal failures but part of a larger, universal cycle, you can start to move through life with a sense of calm, knowing that each low will eventually give way to a high. It's easy to feel discouraged when you're in a downward swing, but remember, the pendulum always swings back. The law of rhythm teaches us that nothing stays still. Every experience, every emotion, every state of being is in constant motion. It's a reassuring reminder that just as the darkest night eventually gives way to dawn, your challenging moments are temporary, too. The trick is not to resist these natural ebbs, but to flow with them, using the lower moments as opportunities for introspection and growth. When you accept that life's rhythms are inevitable, you start to navigate them with more grace. One of the best ways to work with the law of rhythm is by recognizing and embracing your own cycles. Pay attention to your patterns. Are there times of the day, week, or even months when you feel more energized or more drained? Instead of fighting these natural rhythms, learn to plan around them. For example, if you know you tend to feel low in the afternoons, schedule lighter tasks during that time and save your high-energy work for when you're feeling more upbeat. This practical approach helps you align with your own energy instead of pushing against it. Understanding the law of rhythm also means realizing that success is never a straight path. The lows aren't setbacks, they're simply part of the process. When you look at the stories of anyone who's achieved something significant, you'll find they've all faced moments of doubt, failure, and difficulty. The difference is, they kept moving through the rhythm, using the lows as learning experiences rather than reasons to quit. It's about staying committed to your path, even when the rhythm feels offbeat, knowing that each step, whether up or down, is moving you forward. Embrace the rhythm of your life. Instead of clinging to the highs or dreading the lows, ride each wave with the knowledge that every phase serves a purpose. The highs bring momentum and joy, while the lows bring wisdom and resilience. Together, they create the full, rich experience of life. Navigating highs and lows. Navigating the highs and lows of life is a skill that can make or break your journey. When you're riding high, everything feels possible, your energy is up, your mindset is sharp, and the world seems to bend in your favor. But it's during the low points when the real work begins. The secret is not just about savoring the highs, but learning how to gracefully navigate the lows without losing sight of your vision. One of the best strategies is to keep a mental, or even physical, list of your past successes. Revisit them often, especially when you're feeling off track. This little practice can reignite positive momentum, reminding you of your capability and resilience. Finding inner peace before engaging with the outside world is another powerful tactic. It's easy to let external circumstances dictate your emotional state, but true mastery comes from tuning into your inner frequency first. This could mean starting your day with meditation, a few moments of deep breathing, or simply enjoying your morning coffee without distractions. When you center yourself before the world starts pulling at you, you anchor your energy, making it easier to stay balanced no matter what comes your way. You're not just reacting to life, you're engaging from a place of calm control. Don't underestimate the power of small actions during your lows, they can be the lifelines that keep you afloat. Something as simple as taking a walk, listening to uplifting music, or journaling can shift your emotional energy and get you moving again. These actions may seem minor, but they compound over time, gradually pulling you out of the dip. And if you find yourself stuck in a rut, switch things up. Change your routine, try a new hobby, or even rearrange your environment. Sometimes, all it takes is a fresh perspective to get back on track. Remember, it's not about avoiding the lows altogether, it's about how you respond to them. Life will always have its ups and downs, that's a given. But you can choose how you move through them. When you're in a low, focus on self-care and nurturing your inner world. Allow yourself to slow down and reflect without judgment. Low periods often bring valuable insights that you'd miss if you were always on the go. Instead of rushing to fix the feeling, sit with it, learn from it, and let it guide your next steps. Staying connected to your long-term vision can also help you stay steady during the oscillations. Visualize your desired reality often, especially when things feel off. This keeps your focus aligned with where you're going, not where you currently are. You're on a path, and every high and low is simply a part of the journey. All paths lead to desired reality. The idea that all paths can lead to your desired reality can feel like a radical belief, especially when you're convinced you've made a wrong turn. But here's the truth, there's no such thing as a wasted experience. Every choice, every detour, every seeming misstep is a part of the intricate design of your journey. It's easy to get hung up on the concept of right and wrong paths, but what if every road you've walked has brought you exactly where you need to be? It's a shift in perspective that turns every perceived failure into a stepping stone. Consider the moments when things didn't go as planned. Maybe it was a job that fell through, a relationship that ended, or a goal that seemed just out of reach. At the time, it felt like you were off track, but in hindsight, those experiences often push you towards something even better. It's like the universe has a way of redirecting you, even when you don't realize it. So instead of seeing these moments as setbacks, view them as the universe's way of saying, not this way, but keep going. Each path, no matter how winding, is guiding you closer to your ultimate reality. There's great power in trusting the process and embracing the unknown. Sometimes, the most transformative moments happen in the spaces between your plans. Let's say you're feeling lost, unsure of your next move. Rather than panicking or forcing a direction, allow yourself to explore. Take that class you've been curious about, read that book that's been collecting dust, or start that project you've been putting off. These seemingly random actions often open doors you never knew existed, nudging you closer to your desires in unexpected ways. Every path offers wisdom, and it's through these lessons that you refine your vision and align with your higher self. So, next time you find yourself questioning your direction, remember, you're not lost, you're exploring. Trust that every twist and turn is part of the journey. Practical advice. When life feels heavy and you're stuck in a low vibration, practical steps can be your lifeline back to a higher frequency. One of the most effective ways to vibrate out of those low points is by cultivating a self-care routine that supports both your inner and outer world. This doesn't have to be complicated, even small actions can make a big difference. Start your day with intention, light a candle, take a few deep breaths, and set a positive tone before diving into the day's demands. Engage in activities that ground you, like journaling your thoughts, practicing gratitude, or simply taking a moment to stretch and reconnect with your body. Another powerful habit is to create an environment that supports your highest vibration. Declutter your space, remove items that no longer serve you, and surround yourself with things that inspire joy. You might not realize it, but your surroundings have a direct impact on your energy. When your space feels clear, your mind follows suit, allowing you to focus more easily on what you want to create rather than what you want to escape. This simple act of intentionality can be a game changer when you're feeling stuck or overwhelmed. Remember, your journey isn't just about big, bold moves, it's the consistent, everyday actions that compound into lasting transformation. Stay connected to your goals by regularly revisiting them. Vision boards, affirmations, and even setting reminders on your phone can keep your focus sharp. It's about keeping the momentum going, even when it feels like you're inching forward. Progress is progress, and each day you show up for yourself, you're building the foundation for your desired reality. Finally, don't forget the importance of rest and recharging. It's easy to fall into the trap of constant doing, but sometimes the most productive thing you can do is to simply be. Take time to disconnect, recharge, and realign with your inner self. This is where the real magic happens, when you step back, breathe, and trust the natural course of your journey. So, keep your energy high, stay inspired, and remember, you're creating your reality one thought, one action, one day at a time. It's the consistent, small actions that compound into massive transformation. So start today. Revisit your goals, refine your focus, and take those first steps, no matter how small. And don't forget to give yourself grace along the way. Every time you stumble, every time you feel like you're slipping back, remind yourself that you're learning, evolving, and becoming. You're not here to be perfect, you're here to progress. If you found this valuable, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video. See you in the next video.